there, this is Andy C from Pieces of 8-Bit. So this week is some consumer advice, and it's the kind of consumer advice that you never even asked for. It's completely irrelevant, it's totally pointless, but I think it's going to get you all talking. So please feel free to let me know in the comments your thoughts as well. So Oliver and I are going to have a bit of a debate, I think, safe to say. And this important debate that nobody asked for is, what are the top 5, sounds good so far, what are the top 5 best looking consoles? Not the best consoles, so it doesn't matter whether they're any good or not, it doesn't matter whether the games are any good or not, completely irrelevant. The 5 best looking consoles, but we're also going to look at the best looking handheld as well. We're just going to do one of those, and we're also going to look at what we think is the worst, most heinous, ugliest console ever created. So for most of it, we'll probably be able to dig out consoles that I've got sitting on my shelves. So yeah, and then for the rest of it, I'll just have to put some pictures up on the screen. Yeah,
so it's going to be good, because my list will be right, and
your list will be wrong.
How?
Your list, it might be the same.
It could be the same.
It could be the same.
It'd be pretty boring video if you know.
Yeah, I know one of the consoles that I've already thought about. We've already spoken about this a little bit, and we've been talking about this for ages. I was waiting for a console to come, so if you've been watching my videos, you'll know what that is, and it's definitely in my list. I won't tell you where. Yes, maybe one week we'll do best and worst console controllers. Maybe.
Oh, that could be good.
That might actually be useful, because that is something that is more interesting.
It is,
but
actually,
yeah, this serves no purpose. This serves no purpose whatsoever. It's like saying like a DeLorean looks really good, but actually it's a terrible car.
Yeah.
It's kind of, you know, like it's kind of a point. It does look good though.
It does look good.
Especially with all the
Back
to the Future gear on it. Which is convenient. This is what I'm wearing today. Okay, so what we're going to do then is we haven't really told each other what our favourites are. We've got some clues here. So we're going to, in the first section, we're just going to do the worst looking console and the best looking handheld. Going to take a pause. We're going to go find them, bring them back. We're going to talk about it, and then we're going to do the top 5. And that's obviously the moment that you've absolutely all been waiting for. So let's just dive straight in, and let's write down our best. So which way do we do it? Best handheld, worst console.
Yeah.
Right, let's do it. And then reveal, and then we'll go find them. So this is like young v old, right?
Yeah.
Right, okay, reveal. What did you put?
I put the ROG Ally X first gen, the white version.
Oh, interesting.
I love that console.
Okay, you're gonna have to use the black version to demonstrate your point though.
I will, but you know, you can put a picture up.
Okay. And your worst?
Xbox, the first Xbox. I hate the look of it. It's awful. It's just a black plastic thing. I hate it. It's awful.
Okay, I kind of respect that. I've said the Game Boy Color. So specifically the Game Boy, I'll talk about it in a second. We'll go and get them, and then we'll talk about them. And the worst is the Atari Jaguar, which I don't own, but I will. That is in part down to the controller, but I will talk about it. I'll have to put a picture on the screen. You'll just have to
I don't even know what that looks like, to be fair.
I'll have to find a picture. Right, okay, let's take a pause. Let's go and find our consoles and bring them back, and then talk about our picks.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so we're back. We've gone and picked our consoles. So mine is the Game Boy Color. Now, the reason why I picked the Game Boy Color and not the Game Boy, so I love the Game Boy. I did contemplate the PSP actually.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I love the PSP, and I think maybe my opinion of the PSP as perhaps was clouding my judgment on whether it looks good or not.
Yeah, I don't think it looks amazing.
It does.
It's just a screen.
Well, that's it. That's kind of why I didn't pick it, because it does just look like a piece of like black glass.
Yeah, it does.
And the Vita's the same as well.
Yeah, the Vita's the same.
They're very sleek.
They are, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I didn't. I mean, I didn't. If I was having to pick worst looking, I probably would have picked the Game Gear, because it's not a pretty console. I like it, but it's not a pretty console. So obviously the Game Boy is the classic, but I actually think that the Game Boy Colors are nicer. I like the sort of clear plastic on them. On this one, you get the different colours. It's thinner. It's nicer to hold, and it's still got that classic Game Boy look about it. And obviously the classic Game Boy can't be beaten. It's a lovely unit.
Yeah.
But I think they just improved on it with the colour. The pockets are quite nice as well. A similar sort of form factor. But yeah, that's my pick. What do you think?
Is that are you choosing that for that colour, like so you can see everything in it, or are you just choosing it because you've got that in that version? So like, is it grey or?
Well, I mean, I've got the pocket, which is a similar sort of form factor.
I prefer that to that.
Yeah.
Personally, mainly because of the colour, because I just prefer yellow.
It's got a bigger screen. I mean, this is newer.
That is newer, but personally,
this is newer.
Yeah, I know. That personally, I prefer the pocket.
I think they're all nice.
They're all nice, yeah.
Yeah.
I do like the Game Boy, but if I was going to choose one, I think the Game Boy Color would be my least favourite.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Because obviously Game Boy is just so iconic.
Yeah.
And everyone knows what it is, and it's just, iconic. And then out of those two, I think it's just got to be the pocket for me. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Well, I respect that. That.
Right.
So, your choice then?
Mine is the ROG Ally X. Now, this is the second gen that they released, the better one, the newer one. But I actually prefer the white version, mainly just because it looks nicer in white. But I absolutely love it. The LEDs and stuff on this are just absolutely fantastic, and I just love just the way it looks and how it holds in your hand and everything.
Has it got power? It might have some power.
Yeah, it might have some power.
It does.
Yeah, it does.
See that.
Yeah, the LEDs. I just love the way it looks, and you can, customize how the LEDs work. So, like, if you move the thing, they will move the joystick. They will turn different colors and stuff. Or you can just have them pulsing different colors. And I just love it because it's like just a built-in PC in your hand. So it's just great.
It is a nice unit, and I like the way that Asus have like thought about the buttons on the back and things like that.
Oh yeah, the back buttons are actually. I don't use them at all, but they're alright. Yeah. So
I like the Asus ROG Ally. I mean, obviously we're talking much newer. We're talking 2024 versus what, late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah.
But I do think Asus have done a really good job with the ROG Ally.
Oh yeah.
It's a nice
it's like Lamborghini Aventador versus Ferrari F40.
I like that.
Yeah, it's
I
I
respect that.
New versus old. So that's my opinion on handheld.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Cool.
So,
right.
Do you want to talk about your worst?
I can carry on. Yeah. I mean, this is an ugly piece of equipment. I mean, look at that. What is that? What is that? It's just a black box. It's like they put, all the electronics together and went, right, how do we fit this in together? Oh, I don't know. Put a black box, colour it put it stripy, and then put a massive X on it. It's like, what is this? I hate it. I absolutely hate it. And it's really heavy as well, but that's not its fault.
It is really heavy.
It is extremely heavy, and it's just ugly to look at. I mean, like the PS5, I do like looking at that one. I won't say much more because it might be on my list later. But it's just Xbox. What are you doing, mate? Like the PS1, I like that, but God, you could have done so much with it, and then they just wrapped it in a black box.
It is very. It weighs a ton. Do you want to put it down here?
Yeah, I might put it down there just because. It is absolutely.
There was a time when I would completely agree with you.
Yeah, because now you're an Xbox fan, aren't you?
I wouldn't know. I don't know. I mean, I have definitely warmed to Xbox. I didn't like it when that first came out and we had the PS2.
I prefer the Xbox, actually, because
what to play on?
To play on because just the UI as well on the Xbox Series X, it's just so nice.
Oh, I'm talking about modern Xboxes. I mean,
modern Xbox. All right. Yeah, the old Xbox, I don't really know. I'd probably say, I don't know.
This is PS2 era, so you got PS2.
I prefer the PS2.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah.
But yeah.
No, I definitely would have shared that view. It's not the prettiest looking box in the world. I definitely would agree with that. I think it is. Oh my god, it makes you make a noise every time you pick it up. But it's not portable, right? It would just sit under your TV.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've warmed to it. I don't think it's as bad as you say. But I get it. A lot of people don't like this, and obviously the controller that it came with as well was.
Oh, that is an ugly controller as well.
I've got it here. Yeah, the controller did not help the original.
No,
joke.
it is. I mean, what is that? It's very goofy, I'd say.
I've warmed to it. I like it.
It just looks like, like those 80s, like when sci-fi movies, and they've got those over-the-top, like, control boards in, like, movies and stuff. That's what that was going for. Like an alien sort of look. And it's just so, I hate it. It doesn't sit right at all. I still don't like the way the joysticks sit on the Xbox controller. I don't like it. I prefer PlayStation controllers.
Oh well, yeah. When it comes to PlayStation controllers, then yes, I definitely prefer the PS2 controller. But I've actually really warmed to this. I think it sits quite nicely in my hands.
And the back buttons. Oh, I just don't. I don't understand. They should be at the front of the controller and not like midway through.
I think it sits quite nice. It's only because it's so massive.
It's massive.
Yeah,
it's massive.
It is massive. They brought out a newer console, newer controller later on for the later versions of it, which was a lot better. But I actually don't mind was called the Duke. That I don't actually mind it. It was okay.
Yeah.
Let's talk about mine. So on the subject of controllers, let's talk about my one then. So you probably can't see it. You can see it on the screen there.
Yeah,
but you won't be able to see it on the screen. I'll pop a photograph up so you can have a look. And mine is the Atari Jaguar. I didn't actually. There was a lot of problems with the Atari Jaguar anyway. Apart from the fact it was ludicrously expensive, I just think it looks rubbish. And it's not so much the actual console itself. It's quite a boring console.
Yeah.
But my issue with it was the controller is hideous. Like, it's so hideous. And you talk about the Duke being bad, but that is just a whole new level of terrible.
That's an awful controller.
Everything about it is wrong. Everything. Yeah. It's just it's a terrible form factor. It's got the buttons are all in the wrong place. It's got that ridiculous keyboard on it. The whole console was just a disaster. And it's a shame because before that, Atari brought out the Atari Lynx, which is actually quite a nice looking console, quite a nice looking handheld console. It's a bit of a beast, bigger than the Game Gear, but it was, it was a nice looking console, really good for its time. The Jaguar just rushed to market, too expensive, and yes, for me, it's that controller is the thing that does it for me. Just dire, absolutely dire.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind the console too much. I think it's quite sleek and it's quite symmetrical actually, but the buttons at the front and everything I don't mind it, but the controller, I have to say, is awful. It is just awful. It is horrific.
It is one of the worst.
It's like they mixed a phone and God knows what, like a gamepad or something. I don't know, but it's just carnage. I hate it.
There were a few others that I could have picked. I mean, I could have picked the Sega Master System 2. That's not a pretty looking.
I don't like the Sega Saturn.
The Saturn's boring. I don't mind the Saturn, but it's really boring.
That's why I haven't picked it, because although it's just boring.
It's just boring. It's just a black box.
There's nothing.
It's not even as interesting as that.
No, there's nothing to say about it really.
No. And the Wii's quite boring as well, isn't it?
It's just white, isn't it?
It's just quite dull.
A small white rectangle you will never see.
It's a great machine.
Yeah.
But it is quite boring. All right then, so let's skip on now and let's talk about the bit that you've been waiting for, the most important consumer advice you've been waiting for, the top 5 best looking consoles. This is where it's going to get controversial. So let's grab our boards and let's write down our top 5s. Right, okay, so I'm going to reveal mine first, then Ollie's going to reveal his. So here are my top 5. So I have picked the Intellivision from the 1970s. It's an old console, but I do quite like the look of it. There's a lot about it. I'll talk about it when I come to it. Number 4 is the Famicom, which for those of you who don't know, that is the Japanese version of the Nintendo Entertainment System. Much better looking than what the grey box that we had in the UK. And in Europe and the US, which was designed to sort of fit with the aesthetic of your television at the time, but it's really boring. I mean, I love the NES, but it's really boring. Number 3, the handbag, otherwise known as the GameCube, is just a real favourite of mine. I just think it's quite a sweet little box. So I've always liked the GameCube. I think it's a nice looking thing. It's not particularly interesting, it's just a cube. But I just quite like it. It's nice to look at. PS2, when I will cover the reasons why I love the design of the PS2. There are just so many cool things about it. And number 1, an absolute classic from the 1980s, which is the Master System, and the first version of the Master System, not the second version of the Master System. I'll talk to you a little bit about why I love that so much when we get to it. So what are your top 5?
My top 5, right. I've gone for the classic PS2. I absolutely love the way that looks, so that's my number 5. My number 4 is your number 1. The Master System 1, great looking console. Do love those consoles. Then 3, I've got the Intellivision. Very similar to my top pick, but it is a good looking console. I do love it. yeah, good games as well. So my number 2 is the PS5. Absolutely love that console. It is so brilliant looking. PlayStation smashed it with that console. From the PS4, which is just, just a black rectangle, to the PS5 with really nice design. And then my number 1, old 70s console, Atari 2600. It is such a good looking console. I just think it's such like a just classic 70s console, like the dawn of consoles, really setting it off. So yeah, that's my list. Really good. Yeah.
All right, let's go find our consoles and we'll talk through why we had those picks. All right, okay. All right, so here we go. We've gone out and fetched all of our favourite consoles. Surprising amount of crossover, actually.
There is, isn't there? 3 consoles.
Yeah. Maybe it's
Yeah.
I wonder if it's my influence. I did want to. I was talking about doing an honourable mention, and I was thinking about talking about the Spectrum, because that is a pretty looking thing.
I do like the Spectrum, but I also like the Amiga, to be fair.
Yeah, I do like the Amiga, although I was never that fussed about how it looks. I mean, it was, but it is a great machine. But I
agree with you.
The Specky looks great.
Yeah.
The Specky does look great.
ZX Spectrum is so good.
It is.
The rubber keys and everything.
Yeah. It is nice, but it's not a console. So
no, it's not. It's a computer. Yeah.
All right. So yeah, I mean, this is the thing with consoles, of course, is that they are just appliances that sit in our living room and give us joy. But they, people do spend time thinking about how to design them and how to make them look cool. And yeah, it's
not Xbox. Let's be honest.
What about the Series X then?
It's awful. It's just a rectangle. It's a black rectangle. What are you doing there?
I actually quite like it.
It's a rectangle.
Yeah, but it's got that nice curved bit at the top of the green in it. It sits behind the TV.
Yeah, it sits behind the TV.
So does the PlayStation.
That's probably what Xbox was thinking. It was just like, well, this is just going to, go behind the TV. So we'll make every single console black apart from the One S.
Yeah.
Which is white.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. No, that's cool. That's cool. Right. Okay. Let's get into this then. So I've inadvertently already I've got no room in here for anything. Let me move this over here.
Yeah.
So my first pick, my number 5 pick is the Intellivision. And not a particularly popular console, not a very, very popular console, but I love this. I love the 70s-ness of it.
It is very nice.
It's very sleek, and what I particularly like about it is the way that the controllers, you can't unplug them, that's a nuisance. The controllers themselves aren't that good. But I like the fact that they just slot in. It's all very neat, and I love all this gold trim on it, and of course, what 70s console would not be complete without the wood veneer? So
I know. That's my favourite bit.
Yeah, it's lovely. It feels like a really nice, well-engineered piece of equipment.
Yeah.
I just love it. I think it's a really pretty little machine. As pretty as these things ever are. I think it's just really well designed. I think they did a great job with it. I know you wrecked it, but yeah. So why is this higher in your list then?
Mainly, I just love the wood finish on consoles. Because, well, my top has got a wood finish on it. It's I just love the 70s look. It's just, it looks very luxury as well, I think.
It does look luxury. It feels like a premium product, doesn't it?
It does.
Feels like,
yeah.
It feels well made.
Yeah, it definitely does. So, yeah, I just love it. And the controllers, they look like little phone pads or something. But it just when you fit them in, it just looks like it, just fits in with the console very nicely. And that wood finish is just, that does it for me. So
yeah. I was surprised you picked this as your number 3.
Yeah.
Because I was in two minds as to whether to even pick it at all. But I think
my top 3 is 270s.
I know. When you look at some of the other consoles that I've picked, and some of the ones that I've missed out.
Yeah.
I was thinking, did I, was that the right thing to do? But no, now I've taken it out of the box again.
It is nice, isn't it?
It's lovely. Yeah. Okay. So what was your number 5 pick?
Right. My number 5 pick was the PS2. Right. I love the look of this console. I mean, you'll argue that, it's a black console, like I've been saying with all the Xboxes, but, like the PlayStation logo there, just, little details like it, just, give it that little bit of joy. And, what was the thing? Oh, you can turn this round.
Yeah.
So that I love. Even though it's like nothing, you can turn this round, depending if you have it sideways or upright. I really like it, I mean, it's not much, but it's just, simple, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it compared to what was out at the time, which is the Xbox, which is arguably the worst console on the planet, I just like it.
Yeah, I'm going to have to defend the Xbox here. It's not that bad. It's a great machine.
It's a good machine. I'll give you that, and I don't hate it for performance and games it has on it. I just don't like the way it looks.
Yeah.
But
No, great choice for in there, the PS2, and I'll talk a little bit more about the PS2 when I get to my selection in a minute then. So I'm just looking to remind myself what I did. So I nearly forgot to get this out. So this is the Famicom. This is my number 4 pick. So this is actually not a Famicom. This is a Wish Famicom. But I bought it because it gave the idea of what the Famicom should look like. So this was the NES in Japan. This was what came out before we had the NES in Europe. Not this. This cost me like £12. But I like this because it was a nice sort of showpiece because it does look a lot like the proper Famicom. And I love how small it is. I love this form factor of it. I love the colour of it.
It looks like a Star Wars spaceship.
It's
when
great,
you put the
isn't it?
Controllers in, it looks like a speeder
No,
or something.
I do love the colour of it, and I love what I particularly like is the way that maybe that was the same with Intellivision as well. Is the way that the controllers are stored on the side. With the classic NES, I think it just that top loader thing though you put it was supposed to be like a video recorder. It had a lot of problems with that from a mechanical point of view, but it's just a bit boring. It's just a grey box, and it's an amazing grey box. It's just a grey box, and I found the same with the SNES as well. Although I have to say, while we're on the subject of the SNES, the European SNES definitely looks better than the weird purple monstrosity they had in the US. But So Famicom's my number 4 choice. What do you reckon of the Famicom?
It's okay. I do like it when the controllers are in. It does look like a bit of a spaceship, but I don't know. It's quite plasticky.
Well, yeah, that is in part due to the fact that it's cheap. But it was anyway. Yeah, that's true.
So I don't hate it. It is nice. It's not boring. I'll give you that. But yeah, I wouldn't say it's one of my favourite ones. I do like the controllers. It does remind me of a bit of the 70s style look.
Yeah. Well, I prefer. I like the sort of gold and burgundy look.
Yeah.
Well, it's very early 80s actually. Very gold and burgundy look as opposed to just the grey ones that you have on the ordinary NES. Number 4 pick, I felt that needed to be done. Yes, that's my number 4. What's your number 4?
Fair enough. My number 4 is the Master System, which is your favourite. So well, this one I won't say much because obviously you'll do all the talking later because you know more about it. But yeah, it just looks really nice, very 80s. It's just nothing wrong with it, is it? And
no.
I'd argue it's a bit tacky, plasticky. Box, but out of all of them, it's got a nice design style to it, and not much really else to say.
Yeah, I'll talk about it when I get to my number 1 choice then.
I'll save that for you.
Okay, number 4. So my number 3 then, often referred to as the handbag, is the GameCube. Now this is the black GameCube. I originally used to own the purple GameCube, and
that's the best one.
The purple GameCube is awesome, and I loved the orange one as well. So the black one is the most boring of all of them, but I still love it. And I don't know what it is about the GameCube that I love so much. It just feels so perfect. It's just such a nice looking unit. It's so cute and it's so Nintendo.
It's very Nintendo.
It is. I mean, even the little discs in it, even though they were proprietary discs that it had with it. You see that? Look at that. Just quality. That's quality, that is. It's just a lovely little console. I just love it. It's just so nice to look at. And it was, especially when I had the purple one originally, when it was new and it was sat on the television and you had this little purple console there, it was just lovely. And I love everything about the GameCube. Is such a great machine, and it's such a shame that it didn't do better. It didn't sell particularly well for, by Nintendo standards anyway. It's just nice. Preferred it to the N64. I think the N64 was nice in its own way. I nearly put it in my list. I almost thought about it, but then you had to buy the colourful ones, I think, for the N64 to be that interesting.
I don't like the N64 that much.
No, you're not that keen on it, are you?
I think even the colours look tacky
are very divisive as well. People love them or they hate them. I'm not a massive fan. But so that's the GameCube. That's my number 3 pick. I love it. I absolutely love the GameCube.
My favourite bit about the GameCube is the loading screen. I think that's the most iconic bit of it.
Maybe we should do a top 5 loading screens because that would win. That would absolutely win.
That would win, to be fair.
The PlayStation ones are pretty good, but that would definitely win.
That would win, yeah. Anyway,
Okay, so what's your number 3?
My number 3 is the Intellivision. I won't say much. Obviously, you've said pretty much everything. Just love that wood garnish on it, and
garnish. The finish.
I
like garnish.
Same thing.
We'll go with that.
Garnish, yeah. But I mean, some would say it's a bit, tacky maybe, but I think it looks luxury for the time it was. Yeah, not much to say. You said everything really. Controllers are nice. I mean, they're not really practical, I'd say. And when you were playing, I was so confused because obviously you were just pressing like the numbers and stuff, so I wasn't really sure. But it's cool because you can fit like little cards in them, can't you?
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah,
Inserts,
that's cool. To be fair, but yeah, I just love the look of it. To be fair,
Yeah.
it's really nice. Yeah, not much to say otherwise.
No.
There you go.
Great. Cool. Okay. That is your number 3. So number 2 for me. So I said I'd talk about the PlayStation, didn't I? So yeah, I passed it here. You said most of what there is to say about the PlayStation. I love the PS2. I love this. It's my favourite PlayStation. I love the original PlayStation. Love it. Still do. I think it's a great looking machine. Didn't quite make my list. But you know, you already mentioned about the little attentions to detail, the little logo that turns depending on what orientation you've got it at. I love that. And when it first came out, this was one of the first times that we'd seen blue LEDs. Now that seems like a mad thing, but obviously the blue LEDs coming out was like, we didn't realise how important that was, because like all the LEDs now, you know, really have their sort of basis in the origins of those blue LEDs, because it meant we could do red, green and blue LEDs, which we couldn't do before. And the little on button on here, the little power button, was a blue LED, and we thought that was incredibly exotic. But I love, you know, I love the logo on it. I love the detail of it. It's so different. We used to call it the fan heater, and I can definitely see why people called it that.
Yeah.
But I just think it's a great looking machine. I really do. I think it's so nice. And the way that, you know, like the DVD drawer comes out, you know, it's all nicely sort of flush.
You can't
with the
tell
unit.
really.
You can't tell. No, it just pops out. It's a really, really lovely console, and I think this is Sony's best design console. I think they've.
Wow.
Well, you obviously disagree with that, but I think this is better. I mean, you know, the PS3. I liked the launch PS3, the Spider-Man, the fat one, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
But it was an absolute beast. It was quite a smart-looking machine, but I wouldn't have had it in my favourites. PS4, like you said, isn't the most thrilling.
I think it's
machine
the worst one they produced. PS4.
to look at, probably.
And it's like a rocket ship when you turn it on for most
well,
people.
mine is. Mine won't.
Well, my mates and everyone else's I've seen
really?
all
Yeah.
just take off because they've had it for so many
They've
years.
gone for design and not function by having decent cooling in it, for sure. But it is. I mean, I don't mind the PS4 to look at, but it's not the prettiest. I agree with you. I think what was the equivalent PlayStation, Xbox at the time? It would have been the
It
one.
was the One S.
Oh, mind you, that's what's over here. That's not exactly thrilling either.
I
Is
mean,
it?
it's white.
The black one's worse. The white one's nicer.
I hate
actually.
the black one. Yeah, the white one and the white one of the PS4 is nice as well.
Yeah, the white PS4 is nice.
It
Isn't
is nice,
Yeah,
but you know, it's just didn't make my list.
No. Okay, so that's the PS2. Love it. Absolutely love the PS2. What an amazing machine. Okay. So what is your number 2 pick?
Oh, the PS5. Well, we both had PlayStation consoles. Right, I'm gonna try not to break this. I'll just move it into
Move this out of the way.
view here. Right, this
It's the launch one you got there as well.
this is a launch one, yeah. So I just absolutely love this console. I mean, the way it, you know, just designed. I'll try to pick it up, but I don't want to drop it. But yeah, it's just really nice looking at that. Look, the PlayStation logo at the top there, and then yeah, it's really like the fans and everything just, you know, blend in perfectly, and I love the color of it as well. Obviously, one of my favorite tricks is that you can buy different shells. So when they release new games like Spider-Man 2, for example, you could buy. You could get, you know, different shells or different wraps, I'd say, to match it, which I think is really cool. And you can get controllers like it as well. Talking about controllers, I think this is one of the best looking controllers ever. I mean, the haptics on it and everything are insane. It's just, beautiful. And obviously, yeah, not much to say otherwise.
It's a good looking controller.
It is good looking. I'll compare it to the Xbox, the newest Xbox controller. Oh no, that's the Xbox One S controller.
Very similar though.
Very similar controller, but I definitely prefer this one, mainly because it just, you know, it's smaller, so it fits in your hand better than this one. Because and this one obviously doesn't have haptics, but that's, you know, that's.
The modern Xbox controllers are decent though, aren't they?
They are decent, but I don't like how big it is. Like the surface area, they always go big.
Yeah.
I feel so. Yeah, definitely a nice looking controller
Yeah.
and console.
I prefer the newer, like the Slims.
The Slim with the black line.
Yeah.
Oh, it's.
They're nicer.
I do love it.
Yeah.
I probably would prefer it, but obviously we only have this one here.
They're similar designs.
So it's basically the same, bit thinner and a black line across it. That's it. But
I love this bit. You know, where you've got the PlayStation cutout.
Yeah, the PlayStation cutouts, and that gives that a bit depth and everything. And obviously you can have it on the side, which works, but obviously we prefer it upright. And obviously, I think it was last year or a couple of years ago, there was problems with them with having it upright, which does obviously, you know, bring it down a little bit because you can't have it upright, and the PlayStation Neo is upright. So yeah, there are some technicalities that this has had, especially with the game releases. There hasn't been many games released on this at all.
Yeah.
New originals, but yeah, it's I love it. Love the design of this. So yeah.
Cool. Yeah. No, I agree. I mean, I do like it. I didn't have it in my favourites. It was just my only issue with it is an absolute monster.
Yeah.
Which is why I prefer the smaller ones, I think. But and the Pro is quite nice, although you have to buy the disc drive on it, which is just
oh, that is ridiculous.
But yeah. So I do love this little bit here. I've always had mine vertically because it's the only place I've got to put it.
Yeah.
But to be honest with you, touch wood, I've not had any problems. But it is very ergonomic. I love the sort of styling. Yeah. It's very sleek.
And of course, the blue LEDs when you turn it on run down the side. Which
the lighting. I like that. I used to like that on the PS4 actually. That was one of the things I liked on the PS4, which had the light across the middle. It used to light and it would sort of fade on and off. That was really cool. So yes, no, I definitely respect the choice of the PS5. Wasn't in my top list, but
it's nice.
It is a good looking machine. I agree with you.
Yeah.
So my number one pick then is, as you already know by now, is the original Master System. So the reason why I've delayed doing this video is because I've been waiting to get one of these. I haven't had one for a while. I've got the Master System 2, which I'm not such a big fan of. This is just so nice, and you sort of talked about it as well a little bit.
Yeah.
I love the 80s styling. Like red and black was so cool in the 80s, and I just love it. And I love this sort of the way, you know, the little diagram on the front here. It's just kind of cool. You've got the Sega cards that you could plug in. I didn't bring a controller down actually, but the controllers are quite nice as well, although they're not as practical as the NES ones. I find they can be a bit more fiddly, but you can use a Mega Drive controller in it, and they're obviously fantastic controllers. So I don't know what it is, I just love it. I just love the 80s retro vibe about it. And you know, when you got your NES in the living room, which is just a grey box, and then you've got this thing, you know, imagine in the 80s you've got that sort of grey thing up there, and then you've got this in your living room. It's just so much cooler. It, you know, it was an unusual shape. You've got these red and black colours. It just look like something interesting in that era, and I still think it's a great looking console now. I just
imagine opening that on Christmas Day.
Oh yeah, I mean
Christmas Day, like, oh, imagine that.
I've got Impossible Mission in there at the moment, which is such a fun game, so frustrating. That game,
right, it's impossible to.
It is kind of impossible. But I just love it. It's just for me, it's just perfection. I think it's just such a great console. And it was in your list, so you obviously agree with me on some of it.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's my favourite, but it is definitely a good-looking console, I'd say.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, cool. So what was your number one choice?
My number one choice is, of course, Atari 2600. This I just love. I mean, the wood finish, or garnish, if you would like to say. I just think this console is so iconic. If you showed it to anyone, they'd know it was an Atari at least. And I think it set, you know, the goings for gaming, I think. Obviously, late 70s? Late 70s. I just think it looks super stylish. There's nowhere where you can really look that is boring. I mean, it's got the plugs and everything on here, which is an inconvenience, but I think looks nice.
The controller ports on the back.
On the back, yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know what they are, to be fair.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just love the garnish and garnish. Why am I saying that? The finish and the little Atari logo on the end. It's really good, and the controller is so iconic. I mean, the joystick. I mean, you can't get much better than that, can you? So simple. I mean, difficult to use, I'd say, but I mean, you can't go wrong with it. I think it's just an absolutely perfect console.
Yeah, it is a good console. And I mean, this is the 2600 Plus you got here, of course, which is the reimagined one. So the original one was a lot bigger than this.
It was bigger, yeah.
Yeah, it is a good looking console. For me, the reason why it didn't make my list was because and I suppose, the whole point of this was how good do consoles look, rather than necessarily how they play or any of those sort of things. So if you take that purely into consideration, that is a good shout. My issue with this console was always the fact that the ports were at the back, which was just such an odd choice, because it meant that you kept this nice sleek front to the unit, but it meant that you couldn't have you couldn't have the controllers on the front, so they were always like coming out the back and stuff like that. It just wasn't particularly practical, but that's not why we're here. Ultimately we're here to look at what is the style icon. And it's funny because later on, I talked about the NES, and it's getting a bit of a bad rap today, but I talked about the NES as just being a boring grey box. This absolutely wasn't, and neither was the Intellivision. They were interesting looking machines, and they still matched your equipment, because televisions at the time, the CRTs and things like that, had the wood panelling on them as well. So it sort of fitted in with that sort of 70s aesthetic for your electronics equipment anyway. It's a good choice. It is a good choice. It's a nice console.
I do love it, yeah.
I particularly like my Lego version of it.
Yes, well, that just shows it's a good console, because Lego like the look of it. So
they made an NES as well, though.
Yeah, well, yeah.
I don't know why they did that.
Because it's iconic, I guess. So, yeah.
So there you go. That's our top 5 best looking consoles. What are yours? I'm going to just skip across to the wrap up now. Yeah, hope you found that interesting. Obviously, I appreciate that was of no commercial value whatsoever, but I thought it was a fun exercise nonetheless. So let's wrap up, and I'll see you on the other side. Okay, so there you go. That was our top 5 best looking consoles, our favourite handheld and our worst looking consoles. Real hatred for the Xbox from me.
I just don't like any. To be fair, any of the Xboxes, hate them. I mean, they are good consoles, and I like the way they play and everything in them.
But to look at,
it's just, what do you look at?
See, I don't mind the 360.
When you get the Xbox, the role is to put it behind your TV, because it just is there. It's just taking up space, because they're massive as well.
Yeah.
Taking up space, and to look at, you're going through your living room, and then you just see this black box, and it's like, really? It's almost like you want to hide it, almost.
Yeah.
Which is, I'm sure Xbox have just gone, well, just live behind the TV, so let's focus on the electronics and not what it looks like, which is fair enough, because it's a console, and not an art design. So
Sega definitely did that with the Saturn. Oh no, they didn't concentrate on any of it. Frankly, it was
an awful console.
Wow. I don't think it was. I don't mind the Saturn.
The only good game is
Sega Rally.
Sega Rally and
Daytona.
Oh, actually, maybe.
And Virtua Fighter.
Okay. I was going to say Crazy Taxi, but
that's
Dreamcast as well. You know what? Forget what I said.
I nearly picked the Dreamcast.
I don't like it that much.
Do you not?
It's okay.
I think it's quite a sweet little thing.
It's alright.
So I nearly picked it, but I didn't, because I think there are better looking consoles out there.
Yeah.
I mean, Xbox. Yeah, you're right. I mean, it is just. I don't know what it is. I just quite like the monolith it is, the Series X. I don't know why it is. It is. I get. Everybody says it's boring. I just think there's something about it I like. I just love the top of it. And the 360, I don't mind the 360. Not the one that I've got. So
the one you've got is awful.
I've got just the newer generation black Xbox 360, but the original launch 360s are quite nice, I thought.
Don't know what they look like. They're probably just a black box again.
No, they were white.
Oh, they were white. Oh,
Yeah.
well. The white consoles are quite nice, to be fair.
Yeah, apart from the Wii, that's quite boring.
Yeah, but that's just like a little rectangle, isn't it?
Actually, the Wii looked alright when it was on its stand. When it was like on the sort of little stand, that grey stand, and it was sort of at an angle. It was quite nice.
Yeah.
I think the Wii U looks nicer, but it's
yeah.
But nobody bought it, so.
Well, and then again, you could argue it just.
Yeah.
Look, it's black box again, so.
Yeah. Yeah. So there you go. That was it. So. I'd love to hear what you think. Obviously, drop some comments in the comments boxes, and feel free to do a video response if you fancy. Just let me know your favourites and what whether you agree or disagree with some of the things we've talked about today. That was kind of fun.
Yeah.
I've got to work out where I've got to put all these consoles back now, because I've just got loads of consoles out and they're all over the place. That was it. So coming up on the channel next. So we've got as you're watching this. I will actually be, what day will it be? So it'll be Friday. So I will be over halfway through my long charity walk down in Devon. Just giving link will be in the description. So that's what I'm going to be doing. And the next video that I do will I might consider wrapping up the month with the BBC Micro a bit early. So it could be the next one. And then I will reveal what my next console is for the next month. Waiting with bated breath for the next challenge from Steve, from Retro Ed Steve. So we didn't do too badly. I looked at the scores.
I'm disappointed.
Yeah, but
I keep
last.
looking at the board and it still just horrors me.
You went last.
Oh, wasn't I? Oh,
no,
that's
you went
fine
last.
then. That's
You went
okay
last.
then.
Yeah, we'll be some more game reviews and other bits and pieces, but I've quite enjoyed doing this today, so maybe we'll have to do this again.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see who you think has the better list. You know?
What, the better list?
Yeah, the better list of who's got the best consoles.
The best looking console?
Best looking consoles on their list.
Obviously it's mine.
Yeah, but no, it's mine. Because obviously it's, it's better, isn't it?
I mean, you'd have a GameCube on your list for a start.
Yeah, but
you picked three of the same ones. You picked the television, the Master System,
Yeah.
and the PS2, and I can get on board with all of them. They could have placed differently for me. I could have had the PS2 as my number one almost.
at least you didn't have an Xbox on there. If you put an Xbox on there, I would have been throwing hands.
I was thinking about the Series X.
Oh, no way.
I thought about it. I did think about it, but no, I decided against it. I thought it'd be too controversial.
Yeah, it would be.
I should have put the original Xbox on. That would have been controversial.
Oh, no,
I don't mind it.
I would have started a scrap.
I don't mind it. I don't think I hated it when it first came out. I hated it, but that's only because I wanted to hate it. So like I think as time has gone on, I have softened to it. I mean, you got things like you've got like the Mega CD. It's not the prettiest thing in the world, is it?
Again, it just looks
Just try and get this out without disturbing the camera too much. The Mega CD. No, actually, talking of the Mega CD, so the original Mega CD, the Mega CD 1, is actually a really smart looking unit. I love that. Very 90s. It sits on top. The Mega Drive sits on top. So I've got an original Mega Drive as well. Quite like the Mega Drive, but I don't think it's one of the prettiest consoles ever.
on again.
Mega Drive 2, same. It's sort of like the Mega Drive 2 is to what the Mega Drive 1 was. I was wrapping up and I'm talking about consoles again. I quite like the Mega
It's just
CD.
black. I mean, to be fair, it's better design on top. I'd say more stuff to look at.
It is more, yeah. It was quite cool in its time, but
Yeah.
nobody bought it, so nobody really knows. Yeah, I mean, there's so many others we could have picked as well. But, yeah. Good. Right, I'm going to stop talking about consoles now. I said I was wrapping up. That was my now next. I'm trying to think if there's anything else coming up.
Subscribe.
Oh yeah, do that. Yeah, definitely do that. So if you enjoy these, please do hit that like and subscribe button. Do appreciate it. I'm pushing on for that 500. So please do pop your sub in there. Much appreciated, and obviously love talking to all of you. So thanks for joining me, Ollie.
Yeah.
We'll do something like this again soon.
Good
I'm
fun.
sure. Yeah, it's good.
Nice to be in a full video instead of a racing video.
Just a racing video. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Cool. All right. Well, until the next time, please do take care of yourselves. I'll see you all around. Bye for now.
Bye.